So since this is my first ever book review, I just wanted to explain a little bit why I want to do book reviews, and also for those of you that have subscribed to my channel, and I'm so thankful that you have. I'm so glad that you like what I'm doing enough to subscribe. I just want to make sure you know that I'm not changing my channel. I'm still going to be doing scrapbooking stuff. This is just something I wanted to do maybe once a month or something like that. I always try to reassess what I do at the new year, which is, I know I probably shouldn't do, but you know, you make yourself crazy doing that. But a couple of changes I wanted to make is I just wanted to do maybe just a few other things on the channel along with scrapbooking as well. So I just recently became a huge bookie. It sounds horrible. I don't know another word to put it. I love to read. I'm always looking for new books, and the reason why I wanted to do a book review is so that for those of you that love books as well, you will have maybe some new books that you maybe haven't heard of, or books that you thought, oh yeah, I wanted to read that, but I didn't know what it was about. And so this will give you an opportunity to, you know, maybe get some new books that you can read. And then also, I'd love to hear what you're reading, because I'm one of those people that when I finish a book, I'm like, okay, I'm running to Barnes & Noble, what am I going to read next? I just can't go without a book. So I want your suggestions on what I should read. So I want to make this a two-way conversation, if you know what I mean. So for my first book review, I'm just going to do 3 books. I wanted to kind of keep these just short and simple. So the first book is Neville Shoots A Town Like Alice. And I absolutely love this book. It's kind of, it's got a little bit of everything. There's romance and heartbreak and, you know, a lot of trials and situations. But just to give you a little overview on the book, A Town Like Alice is set during World War II. The main character's name is Jean, and she's a British lady that is working in Malaya. And while she's there working, she and a group of women and children are captured by the Japanese, and they march them around everywhere for 7 months. Oh, sorry. Trying to deal with my lighting here. It's not working. There we go. Maybe. Oh, sorry. Anyway, they march them around on a 7 months march. It's like almost like a death march. They're really just trying to. They have nowhere to put them. They can't ship them anywhere. They're kind of like prisoners of war that they just don't know what to do with them. So they just keep them marching around. And once she is freed from that, that's just like the very beginning of the book. That kind of just sets up the main first part of the book. She gets an inheritance. Somebody dies in her family, and she gets an inheritance. And she decides to go back to the village that really helped them towards the end of the war. And there's a village that allowed them to stay there and live there. And so she decides to go back and help them. She does a couple things like building a well, just trying to make their lives a little bit easier. And while she's there, she finds out that a man that she met that helped her and the women and children also while they were captured is alive, and they know where he is. So that's kind of where the story really takes off. And it's about her. She kind of goes searching for him. He's in Australia. And so it's just a beautiful love story, and I really, 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 really enjoyed it. The next book I want to review is The Snow Child. Oh, this book is like, I didn't want it to end. It was just that good. It was like sad. It's one of those books where it's sad, but it's coupled with joy. And you don't find that very often. But it's set in, let me just double check the back. It's set in Alaska in 1920. And the story is about a couple. They're a little bit older now, but when they were younger, they couldn't have children, and they wanted children. And a lot of the family members growing up, as the family gets bigger, you know, the newlyweds are having babies, and she couldn't take living through that every time, you know, a new baby was born, and yet she couldn't have kids. So they decided to move to Alaska to kind of get away and just get a clean break and start over. And while there, it's a hard life. I mean, this is back in the 1920s, so, you know, if they want a meal, they've got to fish or hunt or whatever, or grow their own vegetables or whatnot. And so they decide one night on the first snowfall of the year, they decide to make a snow child. And so they make the snow child, and they clothe it, and they even like put use raspberries to make her cheeks kind of pink. And they go to bed, and when they wake up the next morning, the snow child is gone, and there's a girl out in the wood with the clothes that they had put on the snow child. And so she kind of becomes like their child, their own. And it's a beautiful story. I would really suggest you reading it. It's definitely sad, sometimes sad to the point where you think your heart's going to break for these poor people, but in the end, it's definitely worth reading. And then the last book I want to do is actually from the children's section, which I don't normally read books from the children's section, just so you guys know. But this is a book that me and a couple of kids at church read. My best friend's kids, there's two, Jazz and Bryce, they both love to read, so we're always trying to find things, new books to read, and so we decided to read this series. It's a 5-book series written by Susan Collins, who, by the way, wrote the Hunger Games series. And this book is kind of like the movie The Littles, where Gregor and his sister fall down a grate in a vent in their laundry room, and they end up in a land where the animals are bigger, huger than them, and it's just like a strange world. And so it's just really good. If your kids love books that have lots of action and lots of heart, it's awesome. Your kids will love it, and honestly, you will love it too. It's a good book. If you're wanting to find something that you and your kids can read together, I think you would enjoy it as much as your kids would. And it's a 5-book series, which is really nice. So that's my first book review. Please comment. Let me know if you've read any of these books, or if you do read them, let me know if you like them. And also, please leave your comments on what books I should read. And I hope you guys have a great day.